wound up buying 277 acres for about $76,000. I sold off part of it to my partner, who's a real estate partner that I had in the law practice, and he bought 70-something acres. That left me with 200, and I wound up selling 50 acres for enough money to pay off what I paid for the whole place, and I kept 150 and then divided it up into lots and sold that off. So it was a good development right out the gate. I learned early on that I could make more money signing my name on a note than I could practicing law all year long.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. Today, I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Strickland Holloway, who is a developer, broker, and attorney in Georgia. So excited to have you here today, Strickland.
Good to be here. I really like your format and what the company is doing to share knowledge with other people. It's always important to have someone give you some help along the way, and I'm happy to share what little knowledge I have. I do have a little bit.
Awesome. Excited for you to share. So first off, for those who are not familiar with you and your work, can you just start by sharing what your main focus is?
I'm here in St. Mary's, Georgia, is where we're developing. We have a waterfront community there that we're developing, and it's for second homeowners, vacation owners, anybody that likes boating, that sort of thing. That's what we're doing. And it's pretty interesting development.
Awesome. And have you been developing for a long time?
Well, yes. I started out, majored in real estate from the University of Georgia in 1973. I got my broker's license in 76. I've got a real estate law degree. I got a law degree from the University of Georgia and been practicing real estate law since 76. So it's just a natural progression. As a real estate attorney, I just kept buying and selling property, and one thing leads to another. You wind up developing, and it's just a matter of progression, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you get started with your first developments?
How did I get started? Oh, that's interesting. When I was 26 years old and I first started practicing law, I was 30 days out practicing law, and I walked by the courthouse, and a lawyer was having a real estate auction, an estate sale at the courthouse, and I was just watching to learn. I wasn't planning on buying anything, but it wound up that they no-saled it that morning at around $170 an acre, believe it or not. So I looked at it, and they were going to come back that afternoon and open the bids back up at 2:00. So I happened to call my dad, and I said, "Look, I think I've got a chance to buy some property for $200 an acre. What do you think?" He said, "Well, son, if it's just nothing good but just to hold the world together, it's worth $200 an acre." He said, "Go look at it." So I ran out, looked at it, came back. Like, long story short, I bought it. I had just enough money to put the down payment down, and 30 days to figure out how I was going to pay for it. So that's what I did. And I wound up buying 277 acres for about $76,000. I sold off part of it to my partner, who was a real estate partner that I had in the law practice, and he bought 70 something acres. That left me with 200. And I wound up selling 50 acres for enough money to pay off what I paid for the whole place. And I kept 150 and then divided it up into lots and sold that off. So it was a good development right out the gate. I learned early on that I could make more money signing my name on a note than I could practicing law all year long. So it kind of ruined me. I got into the real estate early.
Yeah, amazing. And as far as what you've developed, what kind of projects have they been?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, several different projects. I've done a lot of different things, buying motels and converting them into apartments, developing lots on the Georgia coast, and in Florida. I developed a project in Florida. We sold out right at $10 million in one day, doing a one-day launch where we had marketed for 6 months and then wound up selling it, and then sold out the rest of the lots right before the crash in '08. Then since then, I've been doing other smaller projects, and then I've circled back around to another bigger project. I bought 6 townhomes and 38 lots in the development that I'm in now at Cumberland Palms. And I've sold the 6 townhomes. I'm now developing lots to sell as fractionals on the rest. So we're selling it on a fractional basis.
Awesome. And how is that development going? Are you selling a lot right now?
Sorry?
How is that development going? Are you selling things currently?
Yes, we're just now getting started. We're just now marketing it and getting ready to run some ads and bring people in and start selling it. So I'm hoping to wind up working out my ability to do owner financing so that it'll make it easier for somebody to want to buy something that instead of paying $750,000, $800,000 for a second home, they can buy something for $170,000 and have access to it more than they'll ever use it. And then they can take those weeks that they're not using it and swap them into other houses all over the world. We have a program set up for that. And they can also rent them out and make money with them to pay for their interest. So it's a unique concept. It really is one of the best opportunities that I've ever seen as a developer. It's just one of those things that came together at the right time.
Amazing. How does it work that people are able to swap around the world?
Well, there's a program called Third Home, if you've ever heard of it. A friend of mine actually developed that company, and it's pretty unique. If you have really an upscale property that they will approve, then you can put that into their program and swap one of your weeks in your home for one of their weeks in another home that they're working with. So it's a unique concept. It's better than anything I've ever seen, to be able to swap and go somewhere else besides just staying in your one unit all the time.
Yeah, definitely. That is a great concept. So, what are some of the main keys that you feel have made the biggest difference in allowing your business to be able to grow and to expand?
Yeah, I mean, you can go anywhere in the world by swapping, and like I said, you can rent your weeks, you can save the time and rent them out if you want to, or swap with somebody else in the community. So it makes it a lot easier and easier to sell, because if you want to sell it, we have a resale program to put it right back into the market and do that as well.
Yeah. Are there any drawbacks to this type of development?
Financing is the major issue for anybody on a second home. It's just unless you have cash, it's hard to come up with financing sometimes. So I'm working on a program to be able to offer financing with a little bit of money down, and then they can have owner financing and make it very easy to get into it. And it's kind of in the way I've looked at real estate, it's always anything I've ever bought and anything I've ever been paying for. It's kind of like a forced savings account. I don't have a lot of money cash going into a savings account, but I got a lot of money cash going into real estate, which has always been good as an appreciable asset for me. One of the first things that one of the gentlemen told me when I first started practicing law was to buy anything anybody will sell you as long as they're offering owner finance. Doesn't matter what it was. He said, buy it. If they're offering owner finance, it's always a good investment. So it's always been a way I bought property. I bought millions of dollars worth of property on owner finance.
Awesome. So, what type of other investment properties do you have?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I bought one property that we were going to do an RV resort, a high-end RV resort, and we got ready to develop it. And of course, we ran into some environmental issues, and the property was high ground, but they came back and the DNR said it was all wetlands, so we couldn't develop that. But we then turned and found out that it was land that had been disturbed by the state of Georgia and the federal government when they built I-95 running through Georgia down to Florida. So if you take that property and restore it back to marsh, which is what we're now in the process of doing, you can create what is called a tidal mitigation bank. Wetlands mitigation are fairly common because you can find wetlands just about anywhere. But finding marsh that has been disturbed by man is hard because nobody's running a bulldozer out into the marsh by accident. You're not doing that. So this property was messed up and destroyed back in the 60s. We're now going to restore it. And we're creating a tidal mitigation bank that actually creates credits that the feds issue, and the state of Georgia, Georgia Power, the Port Authority, anybody crossing the marsh with a road or power line or dredging, they have to have those credits. So we're creating about 500 credits there, and we can sell them back to those entities, which is really going to be a blessing because it makes more money than the RV resort did. So it turned out good for us that we had one door closed. We had to make way to get to another door to open it. And, that's why in development, you have to be prepared to change. You have to be able to not let roadblocks get in your way. If they come, you guys got to find a way to get over them or under them or around them. And sometimes the whole marketing plan changes on the spur of a minute because things don't work out like you'd hope to.
Yeah, definitely. It's important to continue to pivot.
I'm sorry?
It's important to know when to pivot.
Absolutely. Yeah, and know when to pivot, know when to change direction and do something different if you need to. When I first bought this property at Cumberland Palms, I was going to sell the houses as short-term vacation rentals and let people buy them, put them back into one of the platforms that you could rent those on, VRBO, Airbnb, whoever. But the problem I found out right away was that the St. Mary's was not on the national radar. If you were looking for some place to go in Georgia, you were looking at St. Simon's or Sea Palms or Savannah, maybe Jekyll Island, and then down in Florida, you were looking at Amelia Island. Nobody had heard of St. Mary's, but St. Mary's, one of the greatest national parks in the world, is there. It's Cumberland Island, beautiful, untouched, pristine island that's got wild horses running on it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful property that was donated to the federal government years ago, and it's a national park. People come from all over to see that park. There's no place to stay in St. Mary's because they only have a few hotels on the interstate. So our property, I thought, would be perfect for somebody to buy the house, put it back into a short-term rental, and rent it out. That didn't work quite as well as I thought because the market was not there. It's coming, but it's not there yet. So I had to pivot and change and say, okay, what am I going to do now? Fractionals. I'll sell each individual share. Then I don't have to worry about them renting it out. They'll use it themselves.
Yeah, amazing. Sounds like a great opportunity.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
It is, really is, because not many people are doing this. You got a few people that are buying a fractional in certain locations, high-end locations like ski resorts and that sort of thing. But there's not much for the average person to be able to buy because there are not any developments that are totally nothing but fractionals. I created my covenants, which was a little bit unusual. I created my covenants where you can't even live in my neighborhood. I don't let permanent residents live there because I didn't want anybody coming and going, having a good time as a short-term vacationer, making some permanent resident angry and wanting to complain. So no one lives there. You can't live there on a permanent basis. You can stay as long as you want. You can stay there 6 months, a year out of the time. I don't care, but you just can't call it home because I want to be able to have it open for weddings and wedding receptions and bring people in and rent the houses, and then they can take and have a nice wedding at the wedding venue that we're going to be building. They can get on a yacht, leave the wedding and drive all the way to Miami if they would like. So I think there's a lot of destination weddings that will be taking place there. There's going to be a lot of renters coming and going wanting to rent those houses. So people that buy those units and those fractionals will be able to rent their weeks out on a very regular basis, I believe.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
It is.
Yeah, go ahead. Are there any other developments that you are foreseeing for the future?
Possibly. I'm looking at short-term. It's what I want to call it. It's a storage unit. Let's just think about a storage unit. Everybody rents those storage units, and a market that's booming, and you got a lot of people influx coming in, like our market in this area. They need storage. They bring in junk with them, and they need to store it, or they're getting ready to move. They need to store it. But a lot of people, once they live there, they need to store things on a permanent basis, and not everybody has access to large tracts of land to live on. I happen to live on 100 acres, so I can put storage buildings anywhere I want to. But the average person is going to be living on in a neighborhood, and they don't let you do that. So I'm thinking about building storage units, but then selling them on an individual basis. And that way you can buy the unit, keep your prize car in it, your prize boat in it, or your prize antiques, whatever you want to keep, and not have to worry about paying rent. You own it. Now, if you don't need it, then you can rent it out yourself and make money with it. But I think there's a lot of people that would like to have a place that they can just store stuff and then use it at a later time. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that as the next project. Probably going to be doing some more developing as well once I find the right property and do that as well. I've always tried to make the more right decisions than I do wrong. I'll share this story with you. When I first started practicing law, one of my law partner, who was an older gentleman at the time, told me to ride with one of our clients to his home to pick up some papers. And this guy was one of the most prominent members of the community. He had more money than anybody, but you couldn't tell it. He was driving an old beat up pickup truck and overalls. You couldn't know he had $5. I'm riding with him. He says, "Son, I like you. I'm going to share the key to success." And so I leaned forward and listened to him, and he said, "Hold your errors to a minimum." And I'm sitting there and I thought, well, that's real profound. And then he follows it up. He says, "In other words, what I mean is try to make more right decisions than you make wrong." He said, "Don't be afraid to make a decision." He said, "You're going to make some right and some wrong. As long as you're making 51% right, and 49% wrong, you're moving ahead. You may be moving slow, but you're moving ahead." He said, "Try to if you make 60% right, you'll make a living. If you get it up to 70% right, you'll be a millionaire." He said, "If you can get it up to 80% right, you'll be a multimillionaire." He said, "So don't be afraid to make a mistake. You're going to make them. Just learn from it. Don't make the same one again, and try to hold your errors to a minimum." And I thought that was some of the best advice I'd ever heard. I've never forgotten it, and I always share it with young people because we all are afraid to make a decision sometimes, and you can't be afraid. You just have to shoot first, ask questions later, and that's how I've always done stuff in real estate.
Amazing. I think that is powerful advice.
I'm sorry?
That's powerful advice. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's simple. Like he said, it holds your arrows to a minimum. I didn't think much of it at first, but then when he followed up and explained it to me, I realized he was right. And I've always tried to do that. I always hedge my bets. I don't gamble. I don't go to Vegas because I gamble for a living. I'm doing real estate's a gamble. It's not a guaranteed thing. But of course, if anybody in real estate knows, you make your money when you buy it, not when you sell it. The selling of it is just down the road, but you make it the day you buy it. I know what I'm going to make on something the day I buy it. It may take me a certain amount of time, interest carry, and all of that factors into it. So you can make a certain money. If you can do it quicker, you make more. If you do it slow, you make less. It's not that complicated. Pretty simple.
Yeah, amazing. Well, before
I
we
got
wrap
one.
up here, oh, sorry,
I'm
what'd you
sorry.
say?
I was going to tell you, I've got one more thing I will share with you.
Sure, go ahead.
This was pretty simple too. A friend of mine, when I first started doing real estate, he said, "Look, there's several ways to make money in real estate. One is to buy ugly and make it pretty. Of course, that's the fix and flip model. Another is to buy in wholesale and sell at retail. That's the land guy that buys 1,000 acres and busts it up into 50-acre tracts. So he's buying it at wholesale, he's selling it at retail. The next way is to change the zoning character. If you can change it from one zoning level to a different zoning level and make it more valuable, taking it from residential to commercial, for example, then you can make money doing that. Well, if you put all of that together, you buy ugly, you make it pretty, you buy in wholesale and sell in retail, and you take and change the zoning character, that's developing. That's all that is. You're putting it all together in one piece, and that's the ultimate way to make money. So that's why I developed. And it's fun. It's creative.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing. Before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more, where can people find you and connect with you?
They can. My website is www.cumberlandpalms.com, and I've got a contact page there that they can reach out and contact. They can also call me. Listen, I answer my phone. I'm not young. I'll answer my phone when they call. So they could actually call me, 924864477. I'll answer it anytime you call unless I'm on the phone.
Perfect. Appreciate your time, your story, your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Of course. For the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators who are building real businesses. We'll see you on our next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.